Hey guys, I'm out here standing in the middle of the canal. So, pretty awesome. Actually, this floating dock seems to be really secure. I'm just walking on it right now. And the home inspector just left. I just want to show you guys a little bit about what I found. I'm going to send you a whole bunch of photos to support everything so you've got a detailed list of what I think we need to do to get this place ready for market. So, here we go. So this is what I'm saying. Here's the dock. Okay, your boat, you would pull it right up on here. It'd have to be a smaller boat, obviously, but it's pretty neat that you have the ability to do that, like a jet ski, especially if you have a jet powered boat and then it's already got the tie downs. Now the thing I don't understand what you do with and how this works, because you might want to Google it, is so it's called jetdock.com. There's the brand if you want to look it up. But like, what are these holes here for? Why do they appear to be broken? And this side has the same issue. So like, were these supposed to be fixed into the ground? I don't know, because in addition to that, they have these straps holding it in place. Now they have it on an angle, maybe because it's a little too shallow right here to pull up on it like that. So you'd have to come at it from this angle here. I don't know, but it's a pretty neat thing. I mean, worst case scenario, even if you didn't have this dock, you know, if you had a small enough boat with low drag, you could just pull right up, shut your motor off, and drift in nicely, you know, and lift your trim up a little bit so it doesn't touch the ground there, and then you could just tie it up to the dock. But the problem when it's in the water all the time is the hull will start to get really dirty. But if you just look around, I'll go slow. This is the house directly behind you. And this place is gorgeously landscaped, like this one. Beautiful. But you can see as we go around, it's just a really beautiful space. But you guys have this like mangrove that's growing here, which is beautiful and makes it look really natural. Then you have all this privacy, which is sweet, so you're not out in the open when you're in your backyard. But if you want to come to the dock, this is really solid. I don't see any concerns there at all. Really well built, solid. Okay. This is the neighbor, obviously. They've got their boat up high on a lift, which is something you could eventually upgrade to one day. And it looks like that's just a dead end. But you can't get a boat with a T-top, so it has to be like that, or like with a collapsible bimini top, because there's probably a low bridge. I noticed every single boat does not have the tall T-top on it. So there's probably somewhere on your way to the Gulf, there's probably a bridge that you have to go under. So anyways, guys, this is a really interesting product. And even if you didn't want this dock for some reason, you could probably sell it to somebody because it's probably expensive. Anyway, you got this beautiful area here. I think we could dress this up really nice with some lights and some Muskoka chairs or whatever. And then this ramp here is really nicely done. Again, we could get some solar paneled LED lights to light this space up really nice for cheap. Obviously, I don't like solar panel lights as much, but just to get her going for cheap, that'll get you up and running for a couple of years. These are beautiful. Such nice bright green color and good privacy. This thing's really rickety. Like, look at it. I would never want your kids or anyone's kids going on there. So we're just gonna rip that out. This thing's got a little crack in it, so we're gonna wanna replace the skimmer, like this whole plastic thing in the middle. And it looks like that's where it's getting out, because there's a crack there, and the water level seems to be sitting at that height. And then there's like the bricks here are a little sunken. So I don't think it's a huge deal. And some of these stones are loose. See that? So like they have to be glued or cemented in or something. Over here you've got a little downspout missing. Some trim that needs to be done on the corner. All right. This door, all the trim, the door's okay, but the trim around it and the threshold needs to be redone. This thing works great. I just used it. Shower and everything. It's fully private, which is sweet. You could totally dress this up and make it look so much more beautiful and aesthetic, which would just make it look so much better in photos for higher prices, more bookings, and higher resale value and all the things. The shop is just an incredible upgrade. This thing is massive. It's 17 by like 20 something. It's got big tall ceilings. It looks relatively new, you know, probably less than 10 years old. All nice and clean, no rust anywhere. Okay, it's amazing, like all this travertine tile. Like this stuff's really nice. The pool's sweet too. It even has like a bench to sit on here, and then the steps for getting in and out. And there's even another bench to sit on over there. That gate's got some garbage wood on it. It's got to be fixed, some of them. And then it needs the automatic closer for pool safety, and then a proper latch. Over here, these things are actually a really neat idea because it can get really hot in the summertime, and you want to have a place to get out of the sun. And I like it. These posts all need to be adjusted, or at least the ropes need to be tightened because it's just really low. The other thing is this hot tub's got a horrible leak in it, and it's just a big piece of junk anyway. I mean, look at this. So the hot tub's garbage. I filled it. It's leaking all over the place. This little bar top idea is really cool. I love that idea, but it's also garbage and totally rotten. So ideally what we would do is find you guys either we buy you a brand new hot tub for cheap, have it plopped off here, it's fully insured, or not insured, but has a warranty, and it's new and it's gonna be working great for 10 years at least, and you're laughing, or we go find a used one on Facebook Marketplace, but it's leaking like crazy. It's already gone down like 3 inches since I filled it like an hour ago, and you can see the water on the floor. Right here, I think we need to put, this is all really nice, just put an actual fire pit on it, one that's like secure so it's not like shooting sparks up and bothering neighbors. And then I don't really know why this patio here, maybe there used to be a shed. So they got horseshoes, which are cool. I was just mentioning earlier that I think it would be a good idea to make sure you order some rubber ones, because you don't want to be chucking metal horseshoes around and wrecking your fence and stuff. Like they've got metal horseshoes. I just don't know if that's a good idea. Or you could just replace the little rod and put cornhole, literally lay cornhole inside of these wooden things, and if the spacing is accurate, this would be a great place for cornhole. Or keep the horseshoes, get the rubber ones, and then just next to it you can have cornhole as well. This is a great patio pad, concrete pad. You could do anything here. I mentioned in the photos there's a brand new gazebo in a box that you could set up somewhere. I don't know where, but possibly here. But this would be a cool place to put a big shed. I don't know. I mean, it's just it's a nice big pad. All this concrete here I think needs to be repainted. It just looks ugly. We got to talk to a guy about the solar panel stuff, find out how it works. You know, it was all done in 2022 with a permit, so it's relatively new. And the home inspector says it's in good shape. So that'll be awesome. We'll find out more about that. Your grill looks like it'll still work. It's a little rusty. You're gonna need to order new grill tops. If it's too much trouble, just chuck it, buy a new barbecue for cheap somewhere. We've got garden hoses all over the place, so that's great. This door it's just really old and it's beat up. I'd say let's see if we can just order a new door and just hang it. Would be nice. So let's see what's down here. The patio furniture over here is good. Lounge chairs look good. It's just a random chair there that somebody painted. That's good. This is the gate I'm talking about. You can see another garden hose. This all retracts and rolls up inside. This is just a gargantuan parking area. Like you could park an RV and a boat here and still have room to drive around it, because look at that's a big SUV. It's a Ford Expedition, and there's still tons of room for cars next to it. So it's just an insanely large amount of space. The guy said your air conditioning unit's probably gonna have to go because your insurance company's probably not gonna like it. I don't know, we'll see what they say. It seems to be working perfectly fine, but it is old. There you go, it just fired up. Interestingly, these people have done some jimmy rigging. These are the propane tanks that supply the fuel to your gas stove in the kitchen. There's like a line that runs all the way down around the side of the house into the kitchen. So that's kind of interesting. And then they have a splitter right there, which fuels the gas hot water heater, which we don't even know if it works or not. But with the solar panels, why would you even want a gas pool heater? That would cost a fortune. So this is an electric pool heater, which makes sense considering that you have solar panels on the roof. However, we don't know if it works or not because you got to get a pool guy in here to fire it up and prime the pumps and all the things. And we just don't know anything about how to operate that stuff, but you got all this equipment in it. Seems like it's a saltwater pool system. Again, I don't know if that's the best idea for a rental. Is it too much maintenance? Is it less maintenance? Again, I don't know anything about that stuff. So these are conversations we're gonna have to line up right away for like a pool guy and a solar guy and possibly even an AC guy. But a lot of this stuff we might be able to get the sellers to pay for some of. So we wanna keep that in mind, don't freak out. There's a flagpole base here and there's a flagpole base there. So a lot of places we could throw up a flag if you wanted. It's kind of nice. The landscaping's got a lot of good meat and potatoes. Really nice, like large plants that are really valuable. It's just, you know, they got random junk like old boat propellers and stuff. I don't understand. Maybe they thought it looked cool. But we could just clean this up really easily. No problem. This little room up here on the front, little rotten trim there. This is just plexiglass. I don't really know what you guys want to do with this. It used to be a screened-in front porch. They've added a little air conditioning unit to sort of create additional living space if somebody wanted to use it for that, which is really not a bad idea. You know, maybe one of your teenage kids or older kids, 10 or 12-year-old, could sleep in there, put a bed in there, make it like an extra bedroom so you have extra space. Maybe not a bad idea. I don't know. It's up to you guys. The other thing I was going to say is the gray on this house is very like 2006. You know, everybody was doing everything gray back then. I would honestly say that, and you don't have to do this, but if you painted this house like a beautiful, like warm white color and did like wood shutters on here, you could make this place look a million times better right off the bat from the road on the exterior curb appeal. I also think that this driveway needs to be repainted because as you can see, it's coming up in a lot of places. And we got to do something about the weeds on here, whether we just spray it, I don't know, get rid of that ugly bathtub thing. Then you got these posts, which are not a bad idea because again, you can hang from them those big canopies, and there's 6 of them, so you got enough for 2 big canopies, and that's a great idea because it keeps your cars in the shade, so they're not blistering hot when you come out of the house. But it's just some of them are pretty crooked, so there's going to be a little bit of digging involved, straightening, and then pouring some bags of fresh cement in there. Some of them still look, that one looks still pretty straight. That one's not bad. So just a little bit. I would probably encourage you to keep them because I think it's nice. If not, that's okay. We can just rip them out and just move on with it. But there's still going to be cost involved in ripping them out just as much as there's going to be cost in straightening them out. So just remember, to remove them is not free either. Somebody's got to rip them out, dig them out, and bring them to the dump, and that also costs money. So keep that in mind. And then coming into the screen porch, I was going to say this gate here, it's awesome, but it does have a little bit of a latch is broken, no big deal, just needs a screw. But even this one's rusted out, and it's a little stiff. You can see it's hitting there, so it needs to be adjusted somehow. So just a little thing there to point out for you. Okay, now the screens are all pretty good except for right there. There's some screws that need to be updated or replaced. You come around, it's pretty much your main entrance. This is that little, what used to be a screened-in porch, and it's just got this chintzy door here with the air conditioning. This is what could be utilized as an extra living space if you wanted to have the flexibility there. This is a great room for hanging out. Again, very gray, very sort of like dark, the colors. But the TV looks, it looks damaged. I don't know if it's actually still any good. But in any event, you get a TV for cheap, hang it up there, get rid of this thing. It's all warped and ruined. The outdoor couch is good. Maybe get a new, more tropical looking area rug that would look good there. And coffee tables, oh yeah, new coffee tables needed as well. And then, you know, we could decorate this space to look so much cooler than it does right now. And then in here you've got your laundry room, which is sweet. Okay, like I said, there might be a few wiring concerns in there, but we'll find out like it works fine, but who knows what the bank's gonna say. But that's a sweet room to have right there, your laundry. Okay, guys, so the other thing is there's your garbage. So that's neatly tucked away over there behind those, behind this, what do you call that? Lattice, okay? Not a big fan of these Bigfoot things. It's kind of like a weird random eyesore. And we could dress this up with a little more landscaping along this fence, you know, a little bit more landscaping here. And again, the weeds just have to be sprayed somewhat regularly to keep it fresh. They've got some lights hanging up here. I don't know if they even work or not, but that's kind of the idea. You know, we could string some lights along the ceiling and make this look pretty. I mentioned in the photos too that this thing is really rusty and it's really low. So I mean, if you're even a little bit taller than 6 feet, you're gonna hit your head on there. At least it feels like it. So coming in the house, one of the things I point out in the photos too is the floors are fine. There's just some gaps and cracks here and there that, you know, I wouldn't freak out about, but we could put some gray silicone or caulking in there and just clean it up, and that'll buy you guys a year or two. And then one day we can put new floors in everywhere that are a little bit warmer than the gray that currently is in here. This door here has got some problems. It's an old door. You could, you know, it's just and it's got this thing here. I'm not sure why it's fallen off. So, you know, we could probably, this is the one I was talking about outside, order a new door. But you know what? Most of your windows are vinyl, which is awesome. So most of your blinds are nice. You got a little dining room table in here, which is great. They, for some reason, even have a TV in there. So this leads you to the backyard. This door works fine. You got the tile countertop. I'm pretty sure the home inspector tested all this stuff. Beautiful fridge. This countertop here needs to be either re-laminated on the end cap. It's just held on with tape right now, or we just buy a new piece. That wouldn't be hard to do. This couch is in good shape. It is not a, I thought it might have a sofa bed in it, but doesn't. But still, a kid could sleep on it. It's huge. It's a very nice sectional. This is where that room is I was telling you guys about. And just, you know, a lot of quarter round is missing. You can see how the floor is not fully trimmed in. So you could easily go around the whole house and just do some trim work here and there, some caulking and some baseboards, and, you know, like we could caulk and put quarter round around this trim here and then paint it white, and then actually it looks finished. And with the little AC unit, and if you put a cute little bed in here and a little dresser, someone could use it if they needed extra space as a bonus bedroom. But it doesn't have to always be on, because if you don't need that room, then we'll just keep the door shut and keep the AC off. And we could even control this lock and say they don't have access to that room unless they need it based on the number of guests that they have. So if it's just like a husband and wife and 2 kids, then we're not going to give them access to that room. But if it's like a bigger family and they want it, well, we can make it accessible, and then they can turn the AC on. We don't want to have it running 24/7 needlessly, because that would cost more money. Although you do have solar panels, so maybe it's actually not really going to cost you any more money. So, you got a nice looking thermostat kit here. Bedrooms. Again, you can see the caulking and stuff on the corners needs to be done, and there needs to be quarter round and caulking on all the baseboards in the bedrooms. The furniture looks great. The home inspector said these walls are warm. They're not hot, but they're definitely warmer than, like, this one's not in direct sun right now, so it's cool. This is just basically it's a brick structure, solid cinder blocks. And this is cool because it's not in direct sun, and this one is, you can actually feel that it's warmer because it is in direct sun. So he's like, ideally you would have wanted this to have some framing here and then insulated and then drywalled, and then you would have, you know, better energy consumption and all that stuff. But it's up to you guys if you care enough about that. Again, nicer vinyl windows and blinds, ceiling fan, big TV in the master bedroom. Kids room, same thing I was talking about with the caulking and the trim. You see that? So these are just little things that people aren't going to like, so we want to just touch those up. And address. But you got a nice bunk bed for the kids, nice big dresser, no TV in here. Maybe take the one out of the dining room and put it in here. That would probably make more sense. And then again, we get the trim and caulking and paint in the bedroom here. This bathroom, the floor's like two different types of floor. I don't really understand that. So I would probably just want to leave the floor down, get a brand new piece of rollout vinyl. I could custom cut it or have someone custom cut it around, and then caulk all the edges so it's like a watertight sealed floor, and then just put like a transition strip there so that the bathroom doesn't have this sort of thing, which just looks really unsightly, and it's also not watertight. Now you don't have to really worry too much about it being watertight because it's all. This has some drywall on it. There's a few drywalled walls, but most of it is actually like block. So you got tons of block walls in here. Some of it's wood, some of it's block, but I just don't like when people get out of the shower and there's water like sitting in these cracks and stuff. That's just not cool. So I'd want to address those, caulk it all with fresh white silicone, even like along the tub there. It's kind of yellowing a little. You know, we can clean that up pretty easily. These are things around this vanity, which is a nice vanity, but you know, the caulking's just kind of off-colored, which takes away from how cute it could easily be otherwise, right? So that's the bathroom. And if I'm forgetting anything, you guys, oh yeah, there's a little bit of trim paint. So there's a few things that we got to do cosmetically to make this place really, you know, in my opinion, ready to accommodate a guest that's going to be giving us a good review. So it's not turnkey, but I don't think you guys were expecting it to be turnkey. But considering it's pretty close. Like these are cosmetic issues. This is work. So if you guys wanted to come down for a weekend or something, make a long weekend work visit out of it, you could get a lot of this stuff done in a few days. And then whatever you can't get done, I can do, or I can pay somebody to do, and we get you pricing for that, just to make this place look its best. So, all right. If I missed anything, it's going to be in the photos. I spent like 2.5 hours here, and I think I got it all covered for you. So enjoy, and let me know if you have any questions or concerns at all.